In the name of Allah, the most kind and the most merciful, Assalamu alaikum. I am your general science teacher, and today I am here to teach you the new topic of chapter number 5, that is about the parasitic diseases. You know that in this chapter we have so far studied about the viral diseases and about the bacterial diseases, and now our topic is about the parasites. That the parasites, they are responsible for causing the certain diseases like malaria, the roundworm, the threadworm. These are the certain diseases which are caused by the attack of parasites. So if we talk about the malaria, you are most familiar with this disease as it is common disease in the Pakistan from the last decades. Malaria is a parasitic disease which is spread by the bite of female Anopheles mosquito. How? Let's have a look at the malarial transmission cycle. That when an infected mosquito whose body contains that specific parasite in its named as Plasmodium. That parasite named as Plasmodium is firstly transferred to the first infected person, and that infected person's liver cells start to replicate and they get damaged by the attack of that parasites, and that parasites are transferred to the blood cells. After that, when a healthy mosquito if bite to that infected person whose red blood cell is carrier of the Plasmodium, that will carry the Plasmodium in its blood, and whenever it will infect or bite to a healthy person, it will transfer that Plasmodium or the parasite to its healthy person blood. So this is a transmission cycle. If we talk about the symptoms of malaria, the first symptom is chill, high fever, and increase in the size of spleen, that is due to the infection. And at last, in the third stage, the patient perspire and temperature decreases due to the high temperature or due to the high fever range. The body temperature was increased too much. For that reason, at last, at the third stage, the patient start to perspire, start to release the sweat, and after that, its body temperature is decreases and he feel chill. Certain symptoms of the malaria are the headache, fever, fatigue, muscle pain, dry cough, sweating, vomiting, nausea, chill, and back pain. If we talk about the certain preventive measurements that we should take to prevent the bacterial or the malaria attack, that are the certain precautionary measurements. Like if we talk about the breeding season of the mosquito, that is July to November. So in Pakistan, malaria may occur between the July to November. The most important step in its controlling the malaria is to kill the mosquito. It is done by spraying the insecticides in the house and filling of ponds and other breeding places so that its breeding should be controlled. The next important step which you can take is the use of crude oil. Like crude oil is sprayed on the surface of the water which kills the mosquitoes and their larvae. So its breeding is controlled. During the night, mosquito repellent oil should be used on the exposed part of the body so that we might get control or we might didn't get the infected mosquito to kill or to bite our body. So use mosquito net during the nights. Lastly, use the chloroquine, the tablet or the antibiotic or the which is used basically to cure the malaria. Chloroquine is a medicine which is used for the cure of malaria, for the protection against the malaria. So it give or it help the person who is infected with the malaria. The other preventive measures are the doors, windows, ventilators. They should be screened by the net to prevent the entrance of the mosquitoes. The ponds around the houses should be filled with soil to cut down their breeding places, while on the other ponds used mobile oil is sprayed so that the mosquito do not lay their eggs The main thing or the main purpose is to control the breeding of mosquito, which is the main cause of spreading malaria to the people. Insecticide spray are also used. Insecticides are mainly to kill that insects. During spray, all the household things should be taken out for the next 2 months. The room should not be whitewashed. These are certain preventive measures to prevent the malaria attack. And other parasitic disease which is caused by the roundworms. Roundworm is a common name of Ascaris lumbricoides. Ascaris lumbricoides is what? Ascaris lumbricoid is the parasite which is responsible for causing the certain type of parasitic diseases. It is commonly known as the roundworm. This worm is about 20 centimeter to 30 centimeter long and it is pink in color. The worm is clinically manifested by the symptoms of like nausea, vomiting, gastric like acidity, the dry cough, and diarrhea, fatigue, weakness. These are the certain symptoms of the parasite's attack. The live worms may pass through the feces or may be vomited out because they are present inside the intestine of the patient. Now, how they could be transmitted? These mainly live in the human intestine where they are getting the food and they are developing. And they move freely. Eggs are discharged through the feces in the soil and become infective in 2 to 3 weeks. As they get entry into the human body and they get food into the small intestine where they are growing. And when they release through the person feces, their eggs are discharged out and they enter into the soil where they become effective or infective like in the 2 to 3 weeks. On the ingestion by the man, these embryonated eggs hatch in the small intestine. Larvae released and carried to the liver and the lungs by the blood stream. Larvae is the embryonic stage of developing stage of these roundworms which is released and then it is carried to the liver and the lungs by the blood. That larvae are puffed up through the windpipe and then swallowed by the man into the stomach and then into the small intestine. As they are invisible parasites and they are released through the feces and through the coughing when the person is coughing, that are released out and enter into the other person mouth, and that's for that reason they get enter into the small intestine and into the stomach and they start breeding or they start their developing. They become mature and then their lifespan is about 6 to 12 months. On reaching the intestine, when they become mature, they cause the diseases. Their lifespan is usually about 6 to 12 months when they get entry into the adult body. Why the infection rates are higher in children than in the adults? Because we know that the main thing of the spreading of parasites is related to the hygiene. If we talk about their spread, the adult body, in the adult body, their larvae remains and get developed and then they transmitted to the next person. Like what happened? The kitten or the puppies, like the adult worms, lay eggs in the small intestine of that kitten. Their eggs passes in their feces and their feces are now then absorbed into the soil. Eggs in the feces in the environment and then that soil is eaten by the, you can say the mouse or some any other animals, then that will transfer it to the some other person. Why the infection rate are higher in the children than adults? The reason is same, the personal hygiene. The infection rate is higher in the children because the children are most important source of spreading worms, as they mainly are spreading the worms by playing in the soil and they are going out and not washing their hands, so they contribute to the malnutrition. The reason is also that they are malnutrition, they are deficient in the proper amount of food and energy, especially in the children who may show the growth retardation that are most exposed toward the attack of these type of parasitic diseases. What are the measures to control this disease is that we should take the boiled water that is free from germs, the salad, the vegetable and the fruits that should be thoroughly washed with the water before usage. Hands should be washed before and after eating. Before cooking of the food mean you must take the proper care of your personal hygiene and have the proper hygienic environment around yourself. The food should be covered from the fleas and the dust because that are the mainly medium for their growth where they are present. The next parasitic disease is the threadworm. If we talk about the threadworm, their structure is like the small thread measuring 1 centimeter in length, so they are much smaller as compared to the roundworms. Occurrence: they lay eggs around the anus in the thousand number because they cause irritation during night because of their huge number which is released in the anus of child. The threadworms are small and they are white in color. They lay eggs around the anus in thousand numbers and they cause an irritation especially during the night. Due to the unhygienic condition, these eggs pass in the feces of one person and are ingested by another. How they are spread: it may spread through the affected person nails by ingestion of eggs. The eggs mature in the intestine and hatch in the form of larvae which transform into the adult in the intestine because it get food there and it get mature by eating the food the person is taking. It is airborne, dust, claws, everywhere it is present. When they get entry into the other healthy person by the oral or by the fecal routes, the hand or the mouth contamination, they are transferred to the other person and then their intestine they get developed, they are embryonated and then they mature and released to the feces and again enter into the environment and same the circle is repeated. How we can prevent that threadworm infections? Wash children after every defecation because they are mostly growing around their anus and their feces contain these type of worms. The threadworms are not dangerous, but due to the anal irritation, these disturb the child during the night sleep. The anal area of the child should be washed thoroughly early in the morning and after every defecation. After every excretion, the hand and the nail should be washed properly with the soap. The cloth of the child should be changed and washed properly and dried up in the sun because they are present the dust, air and the other environmental particles or the medium. That sun kill basically these type of worms. The important preventive step against the threadworm is personal hygiene of the child. That is the most important thing to fight against these parasitic, viral and the bacterial diseases. We must take care of our personal hygiene. That is mainly the purpose or the way for the transmission of these dirty diseases. Wash your hand with the soap at these critical times when you are working, when you are cleaning home, after changing the baby nap and after doing anything or before doing anything. You must wash your hands so that your hands should be clean and the certain type of infected worms or the bacteria or the viruses that shouldn't be transferred to the other healthy person or the places. So this was all about the parasitic diseases. Thank you.